In the sweltering midday sun of September 10, 2025, the courtyard of Utah Valley University's Sorensen Student Center in Orem, Utah, pulsed with the energy of a political revival. Nearly 3,000 young conservatives, students, activists, and families had gathered for the kickoff of Charlie Kirk's American Comeback Tour, a series of events designed to rally the next generation against what Kirk often called the woke takeover of America. At 31, Kirk was a towering figure in the conservative movement, founder of Turning Point USA, a nonprofit that had mobilized millions on college campuses, a podcaster with a reach rivaling mainstream media, and a close ally of former President Donald Trump, whom he had helped court young voters in 2024. Kirk, with his sharp suits, rapid-fire rhetoric, and unapologetic takedowns of progressive policies, stood on stage tossing branded hats into the crowd, fielding questions on everything from campus censorship to mass shootings. It was quintessential Kirk, energetic, combative, unfiltered. Then, at approximately 12:20 p.m. Mountain Time, a single supersonic crack shattered the moment. A high-velocity round struck Kirk in the neck, severing arteries and causing catastrophic bleeding. He slumped forward, clutching his throat as security personnel rushed him offstage and into a waiting SUV. Sirens wailed as the vehicle sped toward Timpanogos Regional Hospital, just miles away. Despite emergency surgery, Kirk was pronounced dead on arrival at 12:47 p.m. The cause: massive blood loss from a gunshot wound. What began as a routine rally had become the latest and most shocking chapter in a year marred by political violence, from assassination attempts on Trump to targeted killings of public figures. The immediate aftermath was pandemonium. Eyewitnesses described a stampede as the crowd surged toward exits, phones held high, capturing the horror in grainy videos that would flood social media within minutes. Utah Valley University, UVU, locked down the campus, issuing alerts via text and app. Active shooter situation. Shelter in place. Local law enforcement, bolstered by FBI agents from the Salt Lake City field office, swarmed the scene. Drones buzzed overhead, scanning rooftops and wooded areas. By 12:36 p.m., a premature university alert declared a suspect in custody, sparking brief hope. But it was a false alarm, the result of confusion over a bizarre interloper in the crowd. That interloper was George Zinn, a 71-year-old Salt Lake City activist with a history of disruptive protests. Known for his libertarian leanings and penchant for crashing political events, Zinn had positioned himself near the stage. Moments after the shot, he dropped to the ground, stripped off his pants in a theatrical display, and shouted, "I shot him, now shoot me!" Twice, according to body camera footage released days later. Officers cuffed him amid the chaos, one muttering on camera, "He said he shot him, but we don't know if it's him." Zinn was briefly detained but released after questioning. No weapon, no evidence. In a stunning admission to investigators, he confessed that his outburst was deliberate, a ploy to draw attention from the real shooter and buy time for the assassin to escape. Zinn's colorful past only fueled the intrigue. A self-proclaimed 9/11 eyewitness who described the attacks from a Manhattan lobby as pilot error until the second plane hit, the perpetrator of a 2013 fake bomb scare at the Boston Marathon, and a serial arrestee for minor offenses like blocking traffic. On September 16th, he was rearrested on charges of child sexual exploitation, images found on his phone, and obstruction of justice, charges unrelated to the shooting but compounding the narrative of a man who thrived on chaos. As Zinn's antics diverted resources, the real shooter slipped away. Forensic teams zeroed in on the Low-C Fitness Center rooftop, 142 to 200 yards from the stage, a straight line shot across open air, unobstructed by the crowd. Footprints in the dust, a discarded towel, and a screwdriver marked the perch. Nearby woods yielded the weapon, a bolt-action rifle, high caliber, with casings engraved in mocking script, "Hey fascist, catch!" alongside pro-trans and anti-fascist slogans. The gun bore a palm print and DNA traces, later matched to the suspect. Security footage from UVU's extensive camera network captured a figure in black, hoodie, jeans, mask, sunglasses, entering the computer science building cafeteria minutes before, rifle slung over a shoulder. Scanners alerted guards. Male in black clothing, long rifle, east of library. The man climbed internal stairs, fired from the roof, rappelled down 20 feet to grass, no ladder visible in drone footage, and fled on foot, ditching the weapon in bushes. The manhunt stretched 33 hours, spanning Utah's rugged terrain. A $100,000 FBI reward yielded tips, but it was family that cracked the case. On September 11th evening, Tyler James Robinson, 22, arrived at his parents' home in Washington County, 260 miles south near St. George. His mother, spotting his image in FBI-released suspect photos on the news, confronted him. Robinson confessed to her, per investigators. His father, a local deputy, urged surrender but feared suicide. They enlisted a family friend, a youth pastor and retired detective, who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office. Robinson walked into the station around 10 p.m., flanked by relatives, and was taken into custody without resistance. Transferred to Utah County Jail, he faced initial charges of aggravated murder and weapons offenses. Robinson's profile emerged piecemeal, painting a portrait of quiet radicalization. A third-year electrical apprentice at Dixie Technical College, he had graduated high school in St. George in 2021 and briefly attended Utah State University. Unaffiliated voter, inactive in records, suggesting he skipped the 2024 election. He lived in a modest apartment near his staunchly Republican family. Neighbors described him as squeaky clean and considerate, with no overt political displays. Yet in recent months, he'd veered leftward. At a family dinner days before the shooting, he ranted against Kirk's upcoming UVU visit, calling the activist a purveyor of hatred. His roommate, a transgender romantic partner per reports, described him as obsessed with Kirk's rhetoric on LGBTQ issues. She was aghast at the news, fully cooperative, and handed over incriminating evidence. A note under his keyboard reading, "Well, I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Text to the roommate painted a chilling prelude. On shooting day, he messaged, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." Post-shot, as Zinn was detained, Robinson quipped on Discord, "They grabbed some crazy old dude." The chat referenced a drop point for the rifle, wrapped in a towel, and retrieving a scope, engravings on bullets. His handiwork, taunting Kirk's conservative stances. A private Discord group with over 20 members, now under FBI probe, showed planning, scouting the stupid venue. Ideological rants like, "Some hate can't be negotiated out." FBI Director Kash Patel called it an obsession, with Robinson admitting the act during arrest. On September 16th, prosecutors filed. Kirk's death rippled instantly. Trump from Mar-a-Lago ordered flags at half-staff, vowing swift justice and the death penalty. Vigils erupted. Phoenix's Turning Point headquarters became a sea of red, white, and blue candles. New York's young Republicans packed Madison Square Park. Kirk's widow, Erica, assumed leadership of the organization, her voice breaking in a video tribute. "Charlie lived for this fight. We'll finish it." Cardinal Timothy Dolan hailed him as a youth revival spark. Yet, grief curdled into rage. House Republicans introduced a resolution honoring Kirk's life and legacy, condemning political violence. It passed narrowly, but 118 Democrats voted no, citing partisanship and Kirk's history of inflammatory rhetoric, calling the Civil Rights Act a mistake, praising Paul Pelosi's attacker, and anti-Semitic tropes about Jews controlling Hollywood. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in a fiery floss. The political fault lines deepened. Trump and FCC Chair Brendan Carr threatened ABC shutdowns over airtime to critics, framing it as First Amendment assault. Pilots overheard gloating-faced firings. In Oregon, high schoolers walked out protesting teachers' celebrations. Representative Rashida Tlaib laughed off calls to label Antifa terrorists, later screaming fascist takeover at Representative Byron Donalds. Laura Loomer demanded a Muslim ban from Congress for national security. Kirk's cremation, without public autopsy details, echoed Justice Scalia's 2016 death, fueling whispers of cover-up. But beneath the outrage, cracks in the official narrative invited conspiracy. X, formerly Twitter, exploded with 100,000 plus posts by September 20th, dissecting footage frame by frame. Foremost, the gun's implausibility. FBI claims Robinson disassembled the bolt action, barrel and scope removed, for smuggling, reassembled on the roof, fired a precise 200-yard neck shot despite possible plates, then broke it down again for escape. Ballistics experts on X decried it. Scope removal shifts 0/1 to 2 MOA, 2 to 4 inches at range. Barrel swap Rex tolerances. Impossible under panic, one hunter posted. Audio analysis suggested the crack originated stage right, not roof left, hinting multiple shooters. Access raised flags too. UVU's cams showed the black-clad figure bold in the cafeteria, yet only 6 campus cops patrolled 3,000 attendees, no Secret Service for Kirk. A pre-event clip depicted tampering with the camera behind Kirk. Feed cut abruptly. Maintenance? Or sabotage? Queried viral threads. Eyewitnesses reported 2 roof figures. Clips showed hand signals from stage-left spotters. White hat, black shirt, gesturing pre-shot. Robinson's text proved motive but not trigger pull. His MAGA family and deputy dad snitching felt staged. The mystery plane captivated theorists. At 1:15 p.m., 55 minutes post-shot, a Bombardier Challenger 300 N888 kg departed Provo Airport 10 miles away. No airspace closure despite the manhunt. En route to Page, Arizona, it vanished from radar for 30 to 45 minutes. Transponder off, illegal for commercial but winked at for private jets. It reappeared, looping back to Provo after dropping 8 packs, CEO Derek Maxfield's group owners claim, for business. No probe, FAA silent, X erupted, hijacking if Delta, billionaire pass. Altitude and path screamed parachute exfil for the shooter. Registered to a shadowy LLC, logs blocked. Epstein vibes per Candace Owens. A viral X video amplified paranoia. A suit guy fleeing post-shot, slowed to reveal vampire pale skin, unnatural bone structure, receding M hairline, prosthetic mask, 1 latex glove, print dodge, suit like Secret Service amid casual rallygoers, bag strap matching an AR-15 sling, AI queries confirmed Black Ops tactics, fake faces for deniability. Kirk's recent Israel critiques on Infowars, calling them killers if crossed, sparked Mossad theories. Netanyahu dismissed as insane. Forward resurfaced Infowars claims. A DoD contractor plane orbited overhead. Advanced comms gear aboard, filming the hit. Zinn as MK Ultra distraction. Robinson's doppelganger quip on Discord. False claims proliferated. Misidentified shooters like Michael Mallinson. Scripted texts too convenient per Steve Bannon and Hassan Piker. Nick Fuentes co-hosting Daily Wire. Satire gone viral. False flags for civil war per at Real Joshua Reed. Engraved bullets as narrative bait. Ryan Mata claimed professional hit team, foreign intel. At Digi SubUQLL, 17 mapped the Jets ghost op. At Post-Millennial mocked AOC's speech as 2028 build-up. 10 days on, as Robinson awaits trial, America confronts a fractured mirror. Kirk's killing, political assassination or psyop, exposes rifts, free speech versus censorship, unity versus division. Was it a lone radical's rage, or engineered chaos amid Epstein drops, economic woes, Israel-Qatar flares? 5 questions linger. Why no plane probe? Tampered cam footage, Zinn's true role, gun stories feasibility, foreign fingerprints. The truth may lie buried, but in X's forensics and Capitol's fury, one certainty endures. Charlie Kirk's death has ignited a fire that won't soon fade. As Trump warned, this is our wake-up call. Whether it unites or divides remains the nation's perilous gamble.